Hey guys, welcome to our first video of the new semester. This is Team StablePoint, and to introduce you first to the project, we'll reintroduce it through Gerardo.
Alright. Our main project is embedded tracking systems and augmented reality presentations, and our contribution to this form of presentation is to better stabilize the augmented reality object in these augmented reality presentations. We will be doing this by utilizing the HTC Vive Lighthouse, which uses infrared lasers to send communication to the photodiodes we will be using in our position tracking system to better stabilize the augmented reality object in the augmented reality presentation.
All right, and we'll get into a little bit of what we did since the last video. So far we have received all the parts we need to necessarily assemble every bit. So we have the gimbal and the tracking system itself. We've received all those parts and have begun assembly on each individual portion. And we'll go ahead and talk about current gimbal updates as far as how far we are in that. You can go ahead and talk about the skeleton itself, Ferris, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. So for the skeleton, we done with the most part of the carbon fiber. The thing that we are still working on, around the edges of the brushless motor, it has to be rounded. So we facing kind of like difficulty in that, but definitely we'll try to make it as smooth as possible to make the gimbal looks good as skeleton wise.
Yeah. As far as carbon fiber, it's not the main issue at the point. Right now we are having some current problems with the controller itself, which its I2C port seems to be damaged in some sort of format, which is used to communicate with the IMU, which helps communicate to the board its vector positions in a we were able to determine that it was indeed the I2C port. The I2C number 2 port is working fine in this controller itself. We are working on messing with advanced settings to maybe switch that to the main IMU. So far it is inconclusive, but the I2C2 port works fine, and we're able to track the IMU through the GUI software that was implemented with the board. But soldering and assembly of the battery and just testing of the board has proven successful in determining what the problems are and how we should attack this next. Okay, now we'll go ahead and talk about the position tracking system update. So let's go into that. Yeah, so we have currently gotten all the parts, like we said in the beginning, and we have completed building the circuit on the breadboard. We did some testing and were able to detect that the board itself was actually working through the use of like an iPhone outputting just a red screen, which is the lower bit of the wavelengths that we need to receive a signal from the circuit itself, which is 620 nanometers to 750 nanometers. The upper range of that was the 750 nanometers. And once we get the lighthouses, we'll be able to better detect the signals and also be able to send our signals through the TNC board. And if you want to talk about the TNC board, go ahead, Amr.
We had some trouble like uploading the code to the TNC board because it used program to make it work, and the instructions weren't given that clearly. The first problem is that the whole GitHub website was so outdated that it had to go back and download and install these versions, and then we had trouble like if you're using Windows, because it's different. If you're using a Mac, it's different. If you're using Linux, it's different, and not all the parts are included. But otherwise, everything was fine, and it worked at last.
Yeah, no, he worked hard on that one, getting it to work. But yeah, no, it's an essential part of the project, being able to communicate the data that we need to show where the object is, and it's very important to when we try to implement the Unity code that we have that information. All right. And who wants to talk about the team dynamic so far?
The current team dynamic update is most of last semester we were spending just meetings with our mentors and within our team just to keep track of a lot of paperwork and finances and orders. But now this semester we're definitely including much more meetings in the lab, actually doing the carbon cutting for the gimbal skeleton and working on the TNC board and testing the IMU and just fiddling with all the parts to actually get the assembly going and creating the whole project as a whole.
All right. Thank you for watching.